The Lego Minifigure, standing 4 bricks tall. Over 4 billion have been made. They're an iconic and beloved toy figure that has become an integral part of Lego sets and pop culture.
Awesome!
But they haven't always been this way. Today from the Shoebox, we take a brief look at the history of Lego figures.
Whoa!
Let's go!
Today's minifigure comes in a nearly infinite array of variations. Different heads, hair pieces, bodies, legs, arms, accessories. But do you know why they're called minifigures? Because the first Lego figure was much larger, and looking back on it, a little weird.
If you see anything weird, report it immediately.
Homemaker figures, now commonly referred to as maxi figures, was Lego's first attempt to represent people, and were found within various Homemaker sets from 1974 through 1982. They are composed of a large head and hairpiece, with a head inserted into a brick that allows the head to rotate. This brick has connections for 1 to 2 or more arm pieces that allow a full range of motion. The hand is a combination of a ball that snaps into the lower arm piece and a round 1x1 plate with a hole. This allows the figure to interact fully with all Lego pieces, and could even let the figures hold hands. The remainder of the body was then built from basic Lego bricks. I had some of these figures from Lego Set 565, The Moon Landing, which was released in 1976. The odd thing about this set is that even though it included all the pieces for the maxi figure, the main build itself didn't incorporate the head or hair pieces, but only the arm holder brick and the arm pieces as part of the astronauts. Now the problem with this figure was that it was extremely large and couldn't be incorporated into all the new sets that were being released featuring buildings and vehicles. A different figure was needed. The precursor to the minifigure that we all know was released in 1975.
Who are you?
Unlike today's minifigure, they had no movable parts. Both the torso and leg bricks were solid molded pieces. The heads were blank, without any printed features, and the only accessory they came with was typically just these simple caps. I had a number of these early figures. Lego Set 400 had a few. The Seaplane Set 371 had a pair, as did Set 445, the police units. They were different colors, and it was possible to mix and match the top and bottoms to add variety, and a 1x2 plate in between as a belt could add a splash of color. But the playability of these figures was pretty much non-existent.
Wait, what did he just say?
The closest was some sets incorporated the minifigure into a vehicle like a bike. In 1978, Lego introduced the modern-style minifigure with the release of Lego Set 600. This figure had a smiling face, a yellow skin tone, movable arms and legs, and a stud on the head for attaching accessories like hats or hair pieces. The hands featured a simple peg shape for holding objects. Unlike today's minifigures, the torso decoration was a sticker attached to the body as opposed to printed directly on the body. I actually own a version of this first minifigure, but it came from a different set, Lego Set 709, which was released later in 1978. Growing up, the only other minifigures I owned were from Lego Space-themed sets, where I had a number of the iconic Lego Spacemen in red and white, with their space helmets and oxygen tank accessories. You can easily see by their condition that I played with them a lot. Through the years, the minifigure has grown in complexity. In the 80s and 90s, facial expressions became more diverse. Dresses for female minifigures were introduced, along with more handheld accessories. With the introduction of different skin tones, licensed characters, and collectible minifigures, the popularity of the minifigure has only grown.
I think I heard a whoosh.
Now these aren't the only figures Lego has made in its history. Duplo Legoville preschool sets from the 70s had their own style of figures, as did the Fabuland series of sets, which featured anthropomorphic figures and was geared towards kids from ages 4 to 8. The only experience I have with those is seeing them in the old Lego catalogs I have. Today, LEGO has a few different types of figures aimed at different demographics. For the very young, there are the modern Duplo figures, and there are the LEGO Friends mini doll figures geared towards girls. And with a growing scale of sets targeted for adults, LEGO introduced nano figures. But at its foundation, the basic minifigure has not changed since its release. The dimensions and its construction have remained constant. It's amazing how such a relatively simple design has endured for so long and allowed for so much play and creativity. What's the first minifigure that you got? Let me know in the comments, and until next time, remember to put away your bricks so I can see you again from the Shoebox.